London is hushed, and all over the world countless millions are waiting to take part in spirit in the last journey of His Majesty King George V, away from the crowds and turmoil of his capital, to rest with his ancestors in the peace of Windsor by the quiet Thames. Her Majesty the Queen takes her place in the glass coach with the King's sister, Queen Maud of Norway, the Princess Royal and the Duchess of York. His Majesty the King moves into his position behind the gun carriage. Then come his three brothers, and the procession moves slowly away. This last journey is the climax to all the moving, impressive scenes of the last few days. At Sandringham, it was the servants taking leave of the squire. During the lying in state, it has been the Empire taking leave of its beloved father. But today, it is as if the great curtains have been thrown back, and the world takes leave of the man who was the symbol of all the might, majesty and power of the British Commonwealth of Nations. For a few more hours, King George is surrounded by the utmost of pomp and ceremony that tradition and reverence can devise to the honor of its beloved dead. In the procession, there are 5 kings of Europe, the President of the French Republic, and diplomatic, naval, army, and air force representatives of every nation of the world. But of all this magnificent homage, the central focus is the gun carriage, drawn by a naval gun crew with the flag-draped coffin, the crown, the orb, the scepter, and the only flowers a cross from Her Majesty the Queen. Was there ever so large and yet so silent a crowd as the procession moved slowly along Piccadilly, across Hyde Park Corner and into Hyde Park? In front of the gun carriage stretches a long, seemingly almost endless line of officers and men of the Royal Navy, the Army, the Air Force. At Marble Arch, the crowds are so great that at one time they completely block the road. But there's order and perfect silence as the royal procession passes out of the park. Then the route lies up Edgware Road, along Oxford and Cambridge Terrace, and so to Paddington Station, where the train is waiting to carry its royal burden to Windsor. Slowly it draws out, and the capital of the empire has paid its last tribute to a beloved sovereign. As the funeral train draws into Windsor Station, 100,000 people are waiting in the little town from which our royal family takes its name. Because of the enormous crowds in London, the train is over half an hour late. Again the sad procession is formed, smaller than that which moved through the London streets, but still magnificently impressive, as the King of England walks behind his dead father and the sorrowing Queen rides in the slow-moving carriage. And still the focal point of 100,000 eyes and 100,000 hearts, the coffin, with its glittering jewels and single cross of flowers. And so through the George IV gateway into the historic castle, first built by William the Conqueror, and still, after over 800 years, one of the chief homes of the English kings. And at last the journey is over, and the coffin is borne into St. George's Chapel, the place which of all others is most appropriate to the ideals King George represented in life. This chapel of the Knights of the Garter was built as a monument to the idea of brotherhood and leadership, and in these last 25 crowded, troubled, glorious years, if there is one thing that King George has taught, it is the art of the leader who is also a brother to his followers. As long as he lived, he was the guiding star of a great nation. When he died, the little children cried in the streets.